G'day, Nigel from Sax School. Well, today we're going to learn how to play a classic jazz tune, a jazz standard, which you'd normally hear on tenor sax actually, but we're going to learn on alto saxophone. This is The Girl from Ipanema. Now, this is a great classic jazz standard, and there's a fantastic, sort of the most famous version of it, I suppose, is recorded by Stan Getz with Astrid Gilberto. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to learn how to play it in that key on the alto saxophone. Now, there's one thing I want to tell you that's really important about this tune. Often it's played as a jazz standard in a different key, but I wanted to show you how to play it in the Stan Getz key because I think that sounds fantastic. And if you're a tenor player as well, you can check out the lesson on this tune in the Stan Getz key, where you learn the melody, but you'll also learn the classic Stan Getz solo. Now, in this lesson, we're just going to look at the melody, but keep an eye out for some lessons coming up in Sax School where we're actually going to pull apart the improvising section for this tune as a little sort of performance pack, and that'll give you all the stuff that you need to know in terms of improvising. So you've got everything you need to know so that you could actually improvise your own solo over this tune, which I think would be fantastic. This is one of those tunes that really should be in your repertoire because it's such a standard. Okie dokie, so I'm going to play it through with the backing track first of all. I'll play it all the way through the melody one time, and then we'll go back and we'll have a look at how to play that melody and break it down to easy steps. Here we go. Rightio, so a really lovely melody. Now, did you notice with the construction of the melody, we've got the first section, the A section, which is repeated, and then we did the B section, which is the middle bit, and then we played the A section again at the end. So really, we've only got two sections to learn, the A section and the B section. Piece of cake, right? Now, I mentioned that we're playing this in the Stan Getz key. That puts us in the key of B flat for the alto saxophone. So we're going to see some B flats. Remember, you could play that with your first finger on the B key and the B flat key, or you could play it two fingers in this side key. So B flats and also E flats, so the same as D sharp. So all my 6 fingers and my little finger down there. Now, the arrangement that I used in the lesson, and that's the backing track that is included with this lesson, there's a 4-bar introduction with the guitar and the bass. And then we come in at figure A, which is the top of the melody, beginning of the A section, and that's actually in bar 5. So the very first phrase sounds like this. It starts on a C, and it goes 1, 2, 3. So pretty easy, really. We're only using three or four notes there. So it starts on a C, and it goes C. Now the octave key is off, right? So it's C, A, G, C, A, G, C, A, G, C, C, A, G. Okay? So one more time. If you've got your sax, pick it up and try running through those fingers with me. So C, A, C, A, G, C, A, G, C, A, G, C, C, A, G. You got it? Let's try playing that really slowly. Okay, starting at my C, no octave key. 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice and easy. I'm tonguing all of those notes as well. So ta ta ta, I'm starting every single note with my tongue. Very, very important. Particularly in this sort of Latin bossa nova style, because it gives the melody a lot more shape. So you make sure you use your tongue. After that, we go to one of those B flats. I'm going to use my first finger on the B key and the B flat key. And we go B flat, G, G, F, A, F, F, down to that E flat, and then up to the F natural. So one more time, B flat, G, G, F, A, F, F, E flat, long F at the end. If you're watching your music, this is a pickup into bar 9, okay? So B flat, first finger on the B key and that B flat key. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Should we try that one more time? So make sure you got B flat on there. You could do it with the side key, but I think it's a little bit more messy really using that side key. So I'm going to use the front B flat. Here we go. Pick up into bar 9. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So let's try putting those two sections together. So remember, we're starting on that figure C. We're going right down from where it says figure A in your music, which is bar 5, right down to the where we stop there, which is in bar 12, I think. Here we go. C, A, G, C, C. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. All right, cool. Now I mentioned that A section is actually played twice, right? So you'll notice in your music where we stop there, there's a repeat sign. That's a double bar with 2 dots. And also the last 2 bars have got a big long bracket with the number 1 on it, so it's a first time ending. So that means when we start at figure 8 or bar 5 and play down to those bars, 9, 10, bar 11 and 12. 11 and 12 are the first time ending. Then we repeat back to bar 5, and the second time through we jump over to the second ending. Now if you're really sharp, you'll notice that the second ending and the first ending are exactly the same. So you could be thinking, well, why on earth did you write it like that? The reason is the chords are actually different. So if you, this is kind of like a standard thing in music. So you need to write music the way that it is for everybody. And if this was part of a set of music for a band, you'll notice that the chords would be different in that second time ending. Okay, so let's go back and treat this as if it's the second time we're playing through. We're going to go back to figure A and play through our second time and then jump into the second time ending. You with me? We're going to start on our C. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Second ending. All right, brilliant. Well, that's kind of more than half of the tune because we come back to that melody again at the end. We've just got one section left to learn, and that's the middle bit. So let's have a look at that. It's figure B in your music, which is also bar 15. This is the most difficult part of Girl from Ipanema, and this is the part that everyone kind of struggles with. So you really got to take your time with this and make sure you look at the notes very, very carefully. So we're going to start in a B flat. Remember, that's first finger, B and the B flat key. And it sounds like this. Now that little phrase, which is 4 bars long, we're going to play that same phrase 3 times, but we're going to change the notes each time, okay? But the same pattern is going to happen 3 times. So the first time it goes B flat, up to B, down to B flat, to A flat. Now that's the same as G sharp. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and my little key over here. So we've got G sharp, back up to, oh sorry, A flat, up to B flat, down to A flat, down to F sharp, middle finger, up to A flat again. So don't forget, if you've got your saxophone, do these fingerings with me. B flat, B, B flat, A flat, B flat, A flat, F sharp, A flat. Now there's a triplet rhythm in there as well. Let's try playing it first and then we'll have a quick talk about the rhythm. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. How'd you get on with that? So the rhythm there, we've got B flat, 2, 3, 4, and then it's joined on to a triplet. There's in fact 2 sets of triplets. Now they're quarter note or crotchet triplets. That means 3 1-count notes in the time of 2 1-count notes. So if this is our beat, they go triplet, triplet, 1, 2, 3. So triplet, triplet. So we got B flat, B flat, A, B flat, A flat, B flat, A flat. Whoa, that's really hard to say, but you get the idea, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, ooh, So let's try playing it in time, thinking about how that triplet falls. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, how'd you get on with that? Bit tricky, but it's, if you think about that rhythm, if you've got that rhythm in your mind, it's going to make it easier. Now I mentioned that pattern gets played 3 times, so let's look at the next time that gets played. And this is at bar 19 in your music, exactly the same rhythm, but this time I'm going to start on D flat. D flat's the same as C sharp, so no fingers at all. And the notes are D flat, up to normal D, so octave keys on for that one, back to D flat, B, D flat, B flat, A, B. So one more time, D flat, up to normal D, octave keys on, back to D flat, B, D flat, B, A, B. Should we try it? Here we go, 1, 2, 3. So let's try putting those 2 patterns together. Okay, this is when it starts to get interesting because you can hear the same pattern how it's repeated. So the first one starts on B flat, the second one starts on D flat. Let's start at figure B on the B flat. Or 1, 2, 3. Next one on D flat. Okay, cool, brilliant. Well, so that's 2 of them done. Let's look at the third one. Now this one starts on D with the octave key on. Same rhythm again. D up to E flat, down to D, C, octave keys off, back up to D, back down to C. This time it's B flat, C. So I'm using the 2 keys there with my B finger, right? B flat, C. So D, E flat, D, C, D, C, B flat, C. Let's try that one. Bar 23. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. So let's try putting all 3 of those together now. This is a big challenge. Here we go. So B flat first, then D flat, and then D natural. Here we go. Bar 15, figure B. Or 1, 2, 3. And the last one on D. All right, cool. That's the hardest part of this whole tune, I think. So we finish off this B section with this next phrase. Sounds like this. So there's a couple of interesting sounding notes in there, but actually the rhythm's quite easy and it's very much like a scale. So we go octave keys on, we go D, E flat, F. Now these are all triplets now. F, low F, G, next triplet, A, B flat, C, D flat, and then D natural. So that much again, starting on that D natural again, octave keys on, 6 fingers. D, E flat, F, and triplets here, F, low F, G, A, B flat, C, D flat, D. Should we try that much so far? From the D, octave keys on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we finish it off by going E flat, and this is a triplet again, E flat, low E flat, F, G, A, B flat, B natural. So E flat's the first note, octave keys on, then E flat with the octave key off, F, G, A, B flat, B natural. Should we try that? So E flat, get that octave key on, 2, 3, So let's put those two bits together. So this is a pick up into bar 25, 26, bar 27. So D, E flat, F. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, brilliant. And then we finish off by doing the A section, but just doing it one time through. So. And that's it. Those are all the notes for Girl from Ipanema. Brilliant. Well done for making it through this. I'd definitely suggest spending a little bit of time on that middle section. That is the trickiest part. That's the bit where most people don't do their homework and they find it difficult. But you're going to find it easy because you're going to spend some time working through it. And in fact, if you go through this lesson a couple of times, I'm sure you'll have that right under your fingers without any trouble whatsoever. So the next step, of course, is then to check out that original Stan Getz recording. Have a listen to the way he plays it. It's absolutely beautiful. And also the way it's sung, because the vocals on that is a good clue or indication of how we could make it sound on our alto as well. So try to take some inspiration from the vocals, try to take some inspiration from Stan Getz tenor playing, and put all that into your alto playing and see if you can create a lovely, warm, flowing bossa nova sound. Well done for making it through this lesson. Don't forget there's going to be a series of lessons coming up where we're looking at how to improvise over this tune. We're going to break it down into sections, and I'm going to give you some good techniques and tips on how you can do that. So keep an eye out for that in sax school. Keep practicing hard, and I'll see you soon.